Plastic container. Bottle of protein, but it's empty. She's always drinking protein. The glass when I broke the window, but the bottle... But the glass is underneath it. So that means... This door is the only... Oh, the one and only entrance to the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no trace of the handle having been removed. The only thing that sticks out is the broken glass. But that's my fault since I broke it getting into the rec room. I also don't see any evidence of string or any other kind of contraption having been used. Which means there was nothing out of the ordinary about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's pretty much no question that the door wouldn't open because the chair was wedged in front of it. The chair prevented the doorknob from turning, which in turn prevented the door from opening. And since neither the door nor the chair show any signs of having been modified in any way, the culprit couldn't have made the steel door from the outside. It had to have been from the inside. Well, Negi, have you gotten a good look at everything? Yeah, I think at least a cursory look. Next are interviews. I'm on guard duty, so I can't go anywhere. So you're going to go and do it in my place. She's got this all planned out, doesn't she? Ever since we cleared the air between us, she's gotten a little pushy. Either way, she's right. We are going to need to conduct some interviews. I need to see what the other two people Ogami summoned have to say about that. Can I leave now? Yeah, more than likely, the two of them are in the dorms. Oops. Okay. I guess start with Fukawa. I placed my finger on the bell. And after a short wait... What? Who is it? A wave of sour negative energy lurched into the hall when Fukawa opened her door. What? What do you want? Fukawa-san, you're back to yourself again and not genocider. Don't talk about her around me. You'll spoil my mood. And I was just beginning to enjoy myself. This is what enjoying yourself looks like? Hey, is now a good time? I need to talk to you about something. After clicking her tongue loud enough for me to hear, Fukawa stepped out into the hallway. What? What is it you needed to talk to me about? Actually, I was wanting to ask you about that note you got from Ogami asking you to meet her in the rec room. What? Don't ask me, I don't know anything about that. Togami admitted to having gotten one. Huh? My white knight was also summoned? Ah! Slip of the tongue! Now it's completely obvious that I was summoned too. Yep, it kinda is. So you wanna tell me about that? Yes, I did see the note. But I didn't go to the rec room. I was too afraid to go. She says she didn't go. But is that really true? I don't have any evidence to claim otherwise, but I'll just have to believe her. You have heard enough, right? I'm going back to my room. And with that, Fukawa scurried back into her room. I placed my finger on the bell. And after a short wait... Sup, Negs? You need me for something? There's something I want to ask you. Hagakure, Ogami invited you to the rec room earlier. Well, where'd you hear that? Did you read my mind? Have you awoken a secret ability, dude? Anywho, I'm not the only one she invited, dude. Ogre told me herself, dude. She also invited Bokawa and Togus. Huh? You talked to Ogami? When was this? Well... when she invited me, dude. I thought she delivered notes to everyone. Yeah, the note. The note. She gave it to me in person, dude, and that's when she told me. This story is obviously pretty fishy. So, did you go to the rec room? Hell no, I didn't. Like I'd go see her. Something doesn't add up here. The last time I saw Ogre was when we brought Asahina down to the infirmary, dude. After that, I never saw her again. Well, what do you mean you never saw her again? While I'm here, could you let me have a look at that note you were given? Note? Note? Do I still have the note? Hagagure shoved his hand into his pocket. Sorry, man, I don't have it. It's gone. And then he gave me a twitchy smile as he pulled it back out. And when he did, something fell to the floor in front of me. Something from inside his pocket. Crap! He swiped it up like a gust of wind and shoved it back into his pocket. Trash, dude, trash. Just some trash I forgot to throw out, dude. Trash? Anyway, Ogre invited me to the rec room, but true is truth, I didn't go. I'm so out of here, dude. Not even giving me a chance to speak, he forcibly ended our conversation and fled to his room. He says it was just a piece of trash. But that wasn't just any trash, was it? That was the candy wrapper. Well, I heard what Fukawa and Hagakure have to say, but what's next? It sounds like I'm going to have to re-examine the crime scene, but in addition to that, I should probably do some looking into the protein container I found in the rec room. As I recall, that came from the chem lab. Alright, well, what's first? I guess re-examine the scene? Which floor? Wait. Rec room. How did the interviews go, Negi? I told her exactly what I heard from Fukawa and Hagakure. I see, so all three of them, including Togami, claim they never responded to Ogami's invitation. But it doesn't add up. Someone is probably lying. Someone is lying. In any event, I've made some progress here too. Ogami's corpse, the magazine rat, and the Monokuma bottles. I found new clues in all three of those places. You would do good to investigate them all once more. Alright, let's start with the magazine rack. Kyogure says she found something new at the magazine rack. Let's see. Clues. What's this? One of the magazines is upside down. Did someone put it back on the rack wrong? If something stands out, you should give it a closer look. Oh yeah. I picked up the upside down magazine and began flipping through the pages. Whoa. What the? Right around the middle of the magazine, there was a page with a hurriedly scribbled bloody message. Fukawa. Could this be a dying message? So you found it too. Kirigiri, is this a dying message? Probably. It was written with someone's finger. Dying message. Yeah, I thought so. However, just for the record, I wasn't the one who initially put it in the rack upside down. When I found it earlier, it was already like that. After examining it, I made sure to put it back exactly the way I found it for anyone who found it later. Hey, does that say Fukawa? Yeah, that's what it looks like. So she's the killer. She is, isn't she? We don't know that for certain yet. It is for certain. She's the killer. That decisive evidence. We got her cornered now. It does look like some pretty decisive evidence. But it also feels a little too blatantly obvious, which has me questioning its legitimacy. Considering that we've seen this thing before. Kitty Kitty says she found something new with Ogami's body. You're not going to learn anything just gawking at the body. Yeah, I suppose. Do you have a problem with touching corpses? Alright, fine. In stark contrast to my unshakable reluctance, Kitty Kitty didn't even bat an eye. It was a sight I gotten used to, and it brought a familiar thought to mind. I'm surprised you can do that and keep a straight face. I'll never even get used to the sight of a body. That's normal. Then how can you... I must have had plenty of opportunities in the past to come in contact with dead bodies. Huh? Never mind. Huh! More importantly, look at this. Ogami's shoe? You see the yellow powder on her foot. Yeah, I see it. That's the first clue. Next is the wound on her head. Take a good look. Actually, that might be too much for you. I'll explain. It seems she wasn't struck once, but twice. She was struck twice? Intriguing, isn't it? And here's another rather interesting fact. Both of Ogami's hands are perfectly clean, not even a trace of blood on her fingertips. Well, that's everything I was able to uncover. Still, to think she was able to learn so much just by examining Ogami's body. That's a feat I imagine only Kitty Kitty could pull off. Plastic container. It looks like a bottle of protein. Probably. Anyway, label is protein. And chem lab. On the floor around the container, the glass is underneath the bottle. Oh, right, the bottles. Kitty Kitty said she found something new with the Monokuma bottles. Clues. There's 2 missing. So, did you figure it out? Look carefully and you should see it. There's a pattern in the set of the Monokuma bottles. A pattern? Come on, Kitty Kitty. Can't you just tell me? Sharing leads is one thing, but there's a danger in sharing the conclusions drawn from those leads. I don't want to unnecessarily influence your deductions prior to the class trial. You need to reach your own conclusions, only that satisfy you, not me. So it's not that you don't trust me. No retort. I do trust you to some degree. If I didn't, I wouldn't be telling you this. To some degree, she says. To tell you the truth, there's actually one other thing about these bottles that has me curious. And I'd like to conduct an experiment to test my hypothesis. Will you give me a hand, won't you? An experiment? First, I need you to gather up all the Monokuma bottle fragments on the floor, even the smallest shard. Are you sure? Should we really be tampering with the scene? Everyone had a chance to look around, so it should be fine. That loudmouth Togami isn't around either. I've got to get some equipment from the chem lab to take care... you take care of that while I'm gone. With that, Kitty Kitty vanished from the rec room. I have no idea what's going on. But what can you do? Not like I've got much of a choice. Using a broom and dustpan I found in the rec room, I swept up all the bottle fragments on the floor. And just as I finished that... Sorry to keep you waiting. All done? Then let's get started. What kind of experiment are we doing? I brought a balance back from the chem lab. We're going to compare the masses. Compare what with what? The fragments you collected and a whole Monokuma bottle. What for? That's the whole point of this experiment. You'll see. First, let's compare the masses of two unbroken Monokuma bottles. The two sides are balanced. That means each of the Monokuma bottles weighs roughly the same. Well, that makes sense. There's not much difference between the figures and nothing else to create a weight difference. Now here's the real test. Let's try putting the fragments you picked up on one side of the balance. What do you suppose will happen? Well, there are two possibilities. Either they will weigh the same or the broken bottle will weigh slightly less. I try my best to pick up everything, but it's still possible I miss some. Well then, let's see what happens. Huh? The fragments weigh more? What? Why? So I was right. About taking both the results of that experiment and the Monokuma bottle's hidden pattern in conjunction. There's only one conclusion you can draw, or at least that's what I think. What do you think? That's all up to you. There are two bottles. Well, that's everything Kirigiri told me about. I've got a lot of new information. But the big question, how the sealed room was constructed, is still shrouded in mystery. That reminds me, there was something I wanted to tell you, Negi. When I went to go get the balance, I saw Togami in the chem lab. I would have caused more than a few problems had he spotted me, so I had to sneak in and take it. Is there something I should be getting from this? If you haven't investigated the chem lab yet, perhaps it would be worth taking a look around. Now you mention it, the protein container we found came from the chem lab, didn't it? You're right, maybe I should check it out. Maybe you should. Alright, to the chem lab! Away! Do do do. Alright, so somebody was sealed in the room. Hagakure is acting way too, like, suspicious. Oh, duh. For some reason, my mind just blanked. It was like, wait, where's the chem lab? Where do I go again? So, you had your sights set on this chemistry lab too, did you, Negi? Just be sure not to get in my way. Yeah, alright. Don't you mean yes, sir? Oh, whoa! Looking at them again, I'm struck by how large these chemical cabinets are. I should probably give them a thorough investigation. From the looks of it, the cabinet is actually 3 separate cabinets placed side by side. But more importantly, what's this powder that's been spilled in front of the cabinets? I need to be careful not to step in it. Poison. It's a broken bottle on the floor by the cabinets. Looks to be the source of the spilled powder. The label on the bottle says ChemLab C4. For your information, I was looking around the 4th floor this morning and the lab was not in this condition then. Which means this powder was spilled right around the time the crime occurred, most likely. If the powder was spilled around the same time as the crime, it's probably connected somehow. Are these footprints? They seem to have only been left in front of the left cabinet too. I need a diagram to get a better idea of how the footprints are laid out with respect to the room itself. Are you telling me to map it out? Now you're getting the hang of things. With a smirk on his face, Togami handed me a pen and a sheet of paper. Well, get to work. Okay. As he ordered, I quickly scribbled a diagram of the room. How does this look? Not bad from the likes of you. From the likes of me? I see. Look at it this way. It's clear that the person who left these footprints only had business in the left cabinet. Whoever it was knew exactly what they needed to do. They went straight to the cabinet and right back out. That's what their footprints suggest. And chances are these footprints belong to you, don't they, Nagi? No, they don't! They give me your shoes and let me compare foot size. Having no good reason to turn him down, I obeyed Tagami's orders. Interesting. It seems your feet are larger. Sadly, these footprints aren't yours. Yeah, I'm real sad. However, with footprints this clear, it should be no effort whatsoever to find out whose they are. Just going off of how much effort Tagami's putting into examining them, I guess they're pretty significant. There's a large quantity of yellow powder on the floor by the cabinets. Gotta be careful not to step in it. Perhaps I should go back over what I've learned about the powder so far. Large quantity of yellow powder was spilled in front of the chem lab cabinets, as I suspected. It came from the broken bottle I found on the floor nearby. The bottle's label says Chem Lab C4. Additionally, someone left footprints in the powder. Going by the diagram I drew, it seems whoever they belonged to only had business in the left cabinet. On top of that, Tagami says the powder was spilled around the same time as the crime occurred. That about all. Okay. So what's an A cabinet? So this cabinet has an assortment of nutrients and supplements and the like inside. The protein container I found in the rec room must have come from this cabinet. The labels on everything in this cabinet start with the letter A. That would make this cabinet A. But wait a second. There's a single bottle here labeled C9. Did someone accidentally put it back in the wrong place? Let's see, this is B. B has a bunch of chemicals I've never heard of. They're called reagents? 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 I know what the word is, but I just can't pronounce it. Compounds used to induce or check for chemical reactions in chemistry experiments. I'm surprised you can live with yourself being so ignorant. So you don't think that that's going a bit too far? None. Are you telling me you think studying math or chemistry are of no use in the real world? The words are of a failure. They suit you, Negi. I didn't say that. Anyway, what I really need to be concerned about right now is investigating the cabinet. The labels on everything in this cabinet start with the letter B. That would make this middle cabinet Cabinet B. Nothing really jumps out. I don't think I need to spend any more time looking through this cabinet. This cabinet contains a bunch of dangerous-looking chemicals. Looks like poison and other potentially hazardous chemicals. The labels on everything in this cabinet start with the letter C. That would make this right cabinet Cabinet C. Here's what I've learned so far about these cabinets so far. The Chem Lab's chemical cabinet is actually three separate adjacent cabinets. Cabinet A contains nutrients, Cabinet B reagents, and Cabinet C poisons. It's likely Ogami got her protein from Cabinet A. Curiously, there are also a bottle labeled C mixed in with everything else in Cabinet A. Cabinet C is where poison and stuff like that is stored, so why was a bottle from there in Cabinet A? There's something to it. I can feel it. Ogami was poisoned. Oh, God. Already? Whoopsies, I dozed off there. You guys' investigation was so dull I couldn't even stay awake. Can you do this? Y'all ready? Y'all okay if I do this? Alright kids, it's class trial time. Hurry your butts over to the usual place. The red door's on the first floor. See you soon. Oh, We're already out of time. I still haven't had a chance to figure out the sealed room trick. I guess all I could do is hope we can make something out of it during the class trial. No, we must! It's already time for the class trial. Yay! Oh boy! So I'm gonna review over the evidence, and I'm gonna come back to this, and I'm gonna see if I can friggin' figure it out. Oh my goodness.